Do you, Gary, do you like think about launch angle at all?
That's to me, it's a touchy subject. Before, the way guys hit, you were swinging like down on the ball, right?
Yeah.
And so you're able to hit like low pitch better and, stay on top of the ball. And that's all Barry talked about was, keeping his, his top hand and really, stay on top. And he did that all through his career. Now they think that they can throw up in the zone, and they kind of like increased the height of the zone and kind of shrunk the sides. So now it's more up and down, and they think they can do that spin rate up high to throw up in that zone where, guys are doing that launch angle, and they're doing it to beat the launch angle.
Yeah.
So I think it's going to get to a point where there's going to be like a balance in there somewhere.
Yeah.
And to me, in the minor leagues, I tell the guys, and I don't get really involved with the hitting side of it anymore, but we play in some pretty big parks, and if you're hitting the ball up in the air all day, I mean, they're not hitting them out of the park. So I think it's launch angle works for guys that have a lot of power. But even their launch angles, if you look at some of these, angles that these guys are hitting, it's not as big as you think they are. These guys are just big, strong guys. They're hitting line drives out of the park. Aaron, Stanton. I mean, these guys. I think Stanton's launch angle's around 15.
Wow.
Altuve's is around 11. But I think that launch angle should be adapted to who you are as a hitter too. And I know the whole thing is that you're trying to stay on that plane but we play in a park in Double-A. It's in Richmond, Virginia. That's huge. And these guys are doing these launch angles. We had one guy, I won't say his name, but he worked with Gallo all Aussie.
Yeah, Joey Gallo.
And he comes to that park and he's, crushing balls, but they're not getting out. They're getting caught at the warning track. And I just try to tell these guys that, hey, you keep hitting the ball in the air, that's going to be the quickest way out of baseball for you.
Yeah.
I mean, there's a time and a place to lift the ball, and I think there's a time that you have to be a line drive hitter. And to me, I don't know. That's why I think I'm quite glad I'm not teaching hitting now.
Yeah.
Is my whole philosophy is a line drive, because it stays in the air the least amount of time. It's the best thing for your average. And if you miss, it's a hard ground ball. And if you make a mistake, it might be a home run. Okay. But if you want to me, a good hitter means he consistently hits the ball hard. And I think if you're trying to hit the ball in the air, you're going to miss it a lot and go underneath. I think you're going to pop out a lot more than normally. I know they're not interested in the strikeout as much anymore, but I tell you what, as a hitting guy or a manager, I'm really interested in guys striking out, because that's less guys on base. That's less opportunities to score runs. I mean, to make things happen. And, I think that it's part of like the base stealing too. Nobody steals anymore. Nobody really bunts that much anymore. But you might find that there's going to be certain teams that are built for speed, and they have to small ball it. And I think when you get into like the World Series and playoff time, these guys are trying to switch their mode and trying to get into more of a, let's hit the ball the other way now. But you've been doing something all year a certain way, and it's kind of hard to switch gears right at the end.
Yeah.
And I think teams like the Dodgers, for example, I mean, they get in the playoffs, they can't win in playoffs.
Yeah.
Because they're getting that number 1 and 2 pitcher now, instead of beating up on that number 3, 4, and 5 and in the rotation. So I don't know. It's just, I think every team's a little different. I know every hitter's different. I think you should be the best hitter that you can be for your size, your ability. You know, what are your weaknesses? What are your strengths? And then you have to understand who you are and be a good self-evaluator too. I mean, I know a lot of guys that, I should be doing this. I should be hitting, 25 home runs and this and that. I'm like going, well, how many did you hit last year? 5. I go,
Yeah.
maybe you'll hit 8 or 10 this year, or, but if you start pressing for power,
Not gonna get it.
all it does is lead to a lot of strikeouts and a low batting average, and you're not helping your team. So I think it's selfish. I think trying to hit home runs and lift the ball in there is selfish for me.